Never seen such awesome wilderness survival. The female boss will dry 100 caddies of wild boar, huge body can't even carry it. It took a long time to finally get back to the camp. A meal of authentic teppanyaki. Eat a mouthful of oil. Some even throw a fishing line by the lake. At night, more than a dozen caddies of big head fish volunteered this outrageous operation. The old wives of the domestic air force are spraying blood in the air. On the other hand, look at those small parties. I don't know if it's food poisoning or a water problem. I vomited and diarrhea just a few days after struggling through the night. Finally, he was carried away by the program. Time to retreat to the wilderness to live the first day of the 12th season. This is the 6th player of the season, Baja. As soon as Baja landed, he started yelling. I can't move, I can't move. I can't remind. It's a pity that there is no regret medicine in this participating in the Baja lives in a rural village in Ontario, Canada. But he was born in Kyrgyzstan in the former Soviet Union. He was a border patrol officer for over a year. And Baja learned a lot of survival skills. He said he was after the $500,000 prize. That's a lot of money. You can help yourself pay off the debt you have owed for many years, so as long as it's not life-threatening, never quit. After observing the terrain, Baja made a simple solar orbit, used to determine the direction at the same time, assist in finding a suitable camping site. Actually, the climate in South Africa and Baja's hometown is still very small, hot during the day and cold at night. Difference between day. So Baja wanted to make camp on the sunny side. With daily free help, soon found out, it will be cold at night where you are currently. So he decided to move to the foot of the opposite mountain. But the destination is approximately 2 miles. I want to go through with gear and cameras. It's not easy. Just think long term. This migration is still necessary. The 7th player to appear next is Nathan. 52-year-old Nathan. As soon as he came out, he planned to start fishing. But the way he catches the bait looks like it's kind of clumsy. In the end, there's still a hapless grasshopper caught. With bait, Nathan hurries to the river. With luck, you can eat delicious wild fish at night. Regarding this challenge, Nathan's strategy is to prioritize filling his stomach. Fishing is just the beginning. His plan is to get something to eat every day. This strategy is fine. It depends on whether he has this level. Participating in the Nathan lives in southern Idaho. He has a very famous dad in the wilderness. Luridian. Wrote a book called Outdoor Survival Skills. Very popular, thanks to my father's education. Nathan also learned a lot of survival skills. Don't say I don't know. It's really possible that Nathan is hiding the boss. Waiting for the fish gap. Nathan is going to collect some straw to make a bed. After all, eat well and to have the energy to hunt large animals. Make the bed and lie down for a try. It was as comfortable as I imagined. Rested for a while, Nathan goes back to the river to check the fish string. I just started pulling it and I knew it was stylish this time. Pull it up and it turns out to be a smallmouth yellow croaker. It's not that big. But serving fish on the first day is also a good sign. The camera returns to the Baja side of Chinchi. It has been 5 hours from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And Baja gets there, and he's dumbfounded. Footprints scattered everywhere and feces. Which means there's a herd of wildebeests living here besides him. Africa. Nearly 200 people die in wildebeest attacks every year. It's a bit dangerous to eat in the same pot with them. But it's clearly not wise to move now. Finally, Baja can only find a relatively safe place. After setting up camp, it is time to consider drinking water. You can only boil water if you want safe drinking water and so life became a priority. When Baja picks tools, no lighter selected. He thought it was easy to live in Africa. Selected the right branch workmanship drill. And then we started tugging. You can't find out until you actually get started. Things are not as simple as imagined. Until 5 p.m., Baja couldn't raise the fire either. Baja, whose confidence was battered, had no choice but to wait until tomorrow when your physical strength recovers before finding the next 8th player to appear is Colton. And I was so excited to show it to the audience. His booty. This large South African catfish looks like at least a dozen caddies. Eat sparingly, at least say it can last for 3 or 5. Colton plans to cut off the fish head and stew it. The fish want to hang on the tree to dry. It's just that the temperature in South Africa doesn't know if it before participating in the competition. Colton also lives in Montana. Although my job is an antler. But Montana's unique geography make him good at hunting. Especially good at bows and arrows among various weapons. He thinks he went to South Africa. Like a fish released into the sea, it will definitely surprise the opponents. After dawn, Colton takes advantage of the victory. Bring your bow and arrow directly up the mountain to hunt. He first came to a mountaintop to observe. I want to make sense of this. What animals are most suitable for hunting in? Suddenly there was an uplift. Wow. Holy. The deposit turned out to be a black-spotted forest. Unfortunately, they are a bit far away. I can only watch the dark spot forest go away reluctantly. On the other side, Nathan is also. I saw that he first picked up a pinch of sand to judge the risk. After finding the trend, they went up the mountain against the wind. Nathan said, searching against the wind can mask one's own smell. In order to get as close as possible to the prey, increase hunting success rate. Soon Nathan was looking across the grass from a dark-spotted forest. I thought there was going to be another famous scene. But not far away, I saw a purple eagle park. This guy's attack power is no joke. No matter how brave Nathan is, he doesn't dare to act rat. When the bison left, the black spot forest was also. Nathan, empty-handed, don't mention how depressed he is. The fire hasn't been raised on Baja's side the next day. 24 hours without drinking water. I feel like my body is dry. In order to solve the drinking water problem as soon as Baja starts again and keeps trying. However, 2 hours pass. Still can't get the fire started. The performance of pulling trouser pockets like this makes Baja depressed. What's worse, there is a monkey brother watching. The bared big teeth seem to be mocking mercilessly. And Baja sighed. Decided to go to the mountain to find materials again. There's a lot of dry wood. It doesn't work very well when used. Until Bach found some weathered graves in the afternoon. This finally ignited the flame. I didn't dare to delay, so I quickly boiled a large. The beauty is poured directly into the treasure. Next up is the 9th player of the season. Doug. Don't look at Brother Dow's gray hair and beard, but his movements are not slow at all. I don't know, I thought the video was going to be. In just one day, I chose the camp when I arrived at the They make use of African specialty. Establishment of Boma shelter by Acacia. Just after drinking the water in the morning, I heard some noise on the top of the camera zooms in. Seems to be a mixed black and white neighbor. Despite the drool of moral mantra. However, local laws do not allow hunting dry horses. Doug could only helplessly say. Never mind, today's plan is to explore south of the camp. Hope to catch, to a porcupine or something. Paid in the former ethical citizen web designer. In my spare time, I like to tinker with some crafts, make some primitive weapons, or build a little house or something. He packed physics for decades. Many things have not been applied in actual combat. Therefore, enter the competition. I just want to verify whether what I make is useful. Good guy, don't look. At first glance, it turns out that this is all personal feeling. Doug doesn't seem to be under any pressure to compete. In the eyes. Reveals that he is a harder character. Convincing is also a strong contender for a championship. While searching south, Doug found a creek. What's even more surprising is that you can still see crabs, just a bunch. First one. Doug soon found the second one. So he started scratching in the little play. Catching each crab will probably provide a bus. Calorie of calorie, and 18 grams of protein. Although the number is not very large. Plus line, horsetail and wild vegetables are nutritionally balanced. It was when this big brother was eating that he found out he can still use chopsticks. Question. Added another important factor on the road to victory. Game time comes to the third day. Baja. I haven't gotten any decent food yet. But he still feels, in the wild, shelter should come first. Due to the presence of many willows near the river. And I made a cone out of existing material. When will the shelter be replenished? It's framed by 3 willows. Then use a rain cloth to cooperate with the frame to form a cone. There's not a lot of room inside, but it's enough for sleeping. We have sanctuary. The next step is to consider making the bed more comfortable. Colton should. The most comfortable player I've ever had. After all, he got a big catfish on the first day. According to the time estimate, it should not be finished, but depressingly, he was also surrounded by Fei-Fei's crab. Blind guess may be that he occupied someone else's water and he knew. Fei-Fei is a creature that likes to raid camps. Certain, they're not on the list of people protected by local law. If you come to harass yourself, he doesn't mind adding a disability to him. There are still half of the catfish in storage, but Colton still thinks hunting should be active. Increase inventory. Unfortunately, today's luck is not very. Walk from morning to afternoon. I didn't meet the right prey. Return to the shelter. Colton cooked a big pot of fish head soup. I don't know if you've ever eaten catfish soup. A little mishandled. That fishy smell can spit out everything you ate the day before, but in the wilderness. Fundamentally integrated players are picky. After all, it's already very difficult to support yourself. Waiting gap. Colton even made himself a spoon. Drink the first sip with anticipation. The first bite. I thought it was congealed sad on top. It was just fish line. The fishy smell of cat. It's really not what ordinary people can bear. The 10th contestant, Douglas, finally made his appearance, as the oldest player of the season. Douglas's beard is gray. The first 2 days after the game starts, Douglas set up camp for himself. Ground and drinking water. He thinks the next step is to actively hunt. With South Africa's abundant wildlife resources, it shouldn't be hard to support yourself. When familiar with the environment, Douglas found a lot of rubble. And it's pretty good for making knives and weapons. Before participating in, Douglas has been involved in the dissemination of primitive technologies, best at making tools and weapons from local sources. There's even a book about it, dude. I don't know if this is a handmade boss. Familiar with Wang's, Dao decided to build a shelter under the tree. It's a shelter. I feel like what he built is quite sloppy. Take a few dead trees and lean against a crooked neck tree for even if it ends. I just started to rest. I heard the roar of a beast. What that is? Just by listening to the sound, he knew that the other party was. Douglas's blood pressure skyrocketed. Don't be a wildebeest. That thing can go 35 miles an hour. Once you encounter it head-on, you can't run away. Spinning nervously for a few hours. No source of the sound was found. It's getting late. I can only go back to the camp to continue rest. However, at 9 o'clock at night. It's a best man. And what it is can't see it just here. Douglas heard another animal gasp. After searching for a while, I found a new cow nearby. This guy is more dangerous than a wildebeest. Not to mention the sharp horn on his head. Just by their sheer size, can knock a biped off. Stay up until dawn in fear. I almost didn't get a swollen eye for Douglas. The camera comes to Colton's side. Colton didn't sleep well last night either. The temperature is too hot to enter deep sleep. The hammock fell apart in the middle of the night and fell to the ground. So I thought about today. Hurry up and arrange the shelter. Collected some materials, just started construction. Colton felt a nausea. Our hands. Everything smells like fish. I can't keep film like this. I can't just suppress this. I can't just until today. He still hasn't forgotten that. Hot sticky fish head soup. Now even see air-dried fish. No appetite at all. Fondant pretty hard. You know, I really have two options right now. I can try to get through this on my own. Try to work it all out in my head. Just try to get over it. For days. 4 days. Where I can pick up that side phone and get out of here. But something's gonna change. I can't feel like this. This is hell. I never thought in a million years I'd be making this phone call. Depression is real, people. Don't get yourself. Finally, after half a day of psychological, or decided to withdraw from the challenge. He's not just because of the fish, nausea caused by soup. Mainly, I still can't bear the loneliness. There is no joy in this place. Can't tell your friends about these bad feelings. I really didn't Colton, this guy's going to go up and down. After all, he was the only one who dreamed of food on the first, another female contestant, and he, or leave with reserves. So living alone in the wilderness does not test survival skills. It is a severe test of personal willpower.